Identity theft typically refers to someone stealing your credit card or bank account information. But what if a distant, long-forgotten cousin returned to steal your home, your inheritance, and your future, and claim them as his own, erasing you from your own history? That's what happened in Palestine. Zionist propaganda turned the indigenous descendants of the land's ancient peoples into foreigners, and the actual foreigners into returning natives. Multiple genetic studies show that Palestinian Arabs are the closest living population to the ancient Israelites and Bronze Age Canaanites, far closer on average than any of Zionism's European founders. On what basis did settlers from Poland, Russia, and Germany claim the ancient kingdoms of the Levant as their exclusive heritage and weaponize that myth against a people who are, biologically and by centuries, of stubbornly rooted endurance in the same soil, far more connected to those ancient populations? Over 5 millennia, the descendants of the Canaanites followed many religions: Canaanite polytheism, Yahwism, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. They spoke many languages: Canaanite, Hebrew, Aramaic, Greek, and eventually Arabic. Through all those changes, they farmed the same valleys, terraced the same hillsides, and harvested olives from trees centuries old. They preserved a way of life that survived countless conquerors and empires. That continuity is written in the modern Palestinian genome, an unbroken 5,000-year link to the Bronze Age land of Canaan. But Zionists say there was never a state called Palestine. So what? Self-determination doesn't require previous self-rule. Being denied your rights doesn't mean you lose them. The modern nation-state is a 19th century European invention, and that invention gave rise to Arab nationalism, Zionism, Italy's Risorgimento, and dozens of other nationalist movements. The Italian peninsula was named Italia by the Greeks, just as they named the Levant Palestine. There was never a nation called Italia, and the inhabitants of the peninsula never thought of themselves as Italians. In Renaissance Italy, Sicilian and Venetian were considered different languages. A unified Italian identity was a 19th century creation. After political unification in 1861, a national language was standardized on literary Tuscan and spread through schools, conscription, and mass media. It was said, "We have made Italy, now we must make Italians." Likewise, modern Hebrew was reinvented from liturgical and literary Hebrew to serve the Zionist nationalist project. Palestinians, like the Italians and the Zionists, experienced their own national awakening from the 19th into the 20th century. That process was accelerated by British promises of freedom and self-rule, meant to persuade the Arabs to join Britain in fighting the Ottomans. The Zionists arrived and built European-style villages, planted European pine forests, and boasted of their European culture and values. They imagined they were reviving ancient Israel, but what they built looked more like Poland and Russia than Judea and Samaria. If they had wanted to see what the culture of the ancient Israelites looked like, they could have visited any Fellahin village. The Fellahin lived much as their Judean ancestors had lived 2,000 years earlier, but the Zionists despised this way of life as primitive and backward. European racist colonialism shaped their whitewashed vision of Israel. As Zionist founder Theodor Herzl wrote, "We should there form a part of a wall of defense for Europe and Asia, an outpost of civilization against barbarism." That colonial hierarchy extended even to Arab Jews. During the Mandate, labor Zionists used the Histadrut to keep Yemenite Jews from owning land or joining cooperatives, confined to life as cheap labor for the Ashkenazi settlement project. In 1949, Haaretz journalist Aryeh Gelblum wrote of North African Jews, "The primitiveness of these people is unsurpassable. As a rule, they are only slightly more advanced than the general level of the Arabs, Negroes, and Berbers in their countries." That same year, an Israeli soldier writing home to his family in Morocco confessed, "We came to Israel and thought we'd find a paradise here. But regrettably, it was the opposite. We saw Jews with hearts like Germans. If you want my advice, stay in North Africa. It's better than the land of Israel. The Zionist colonial racist worldview even applied to their treatment of non-European Jews. The Zionist narrative erased an indigenous Semitic people to justify the theft of their land. European Jews changed their names to sound more Semitic, moved into stolen houses, plowed stolen fields, and even rebranded Palestinian cuisine as Israeli. Yes, they even stole the hummus and the falafel. Zionism was European colonization masquerading as a nationalist movement. It wasn't liberation, it was wholesale appropriation. The greatest act of identity theft in history. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you would like to see more content like this.